Hey everybody. I went live again. I'm screwing around, procrastinating. Let me a little bit better. So what am I doing tonight? I'm hoping to do, I guess, a reaction video to my old acoustic album. I'm gonna play the whole album if I can get some kind of audio you can hear. I might have to screw around with it. I don't know. I've been screwing around. Now that I'm paying for the StreamYard app, apparently you can create your own custom layout, so that's pretty cool. And you can adjust the size of the goddamn picture-in-picture, dude. Like the ones that come with it. Look how friggin' small those are. You can't see shit down there, right? Ta-da! I know they have layouts that do this size and stuff like that, but I made a quad cam layout. So if you want to be a guest, hit me up, drop a comment, say hey, and we'll get talking. I'll send you a link. I'm just chilling. I don't know. I'm in a good friggin' mood. I don't know why. Oh look, I got the sky cam going today, and I found something else out new. When you're setting up your multiple cameras for StreamYard, you can go into settings. Like if you do it on your laptop or whatever, and you go into settings, it lets you have the option of the green screen background and shit. I was curious if I could do green screen on my other cameras so you don't see my messy room and shit. But I did find the settings for camera, and it gives you a multiple camera option. So I opted for some, I think it was the dual wide. So I think the overhead camera is getting a broader view. And I said, what the hell, I put another one in front of me with the same camera setting just to see the difference. So I'm just playing around with it shit. But, yeah. I've got my iTunes open because I have, I think, the whole album, the old Acoustitales album, on my iTunes playlist. So back when I was ripping everything to MP3, I thought it was the biggest thing to put my shit on iTunes. I thought that put me out there at first. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not public. That's just my own private playlist to load onto my iPod, or yeah, my old iPod. I had the old original iPod. That was pretty cool. So let me just see if I can find that album. It's funny, I found a file under my real name. So all you watching, oh no, now you know. Among the list, I think GarageBand, when I first was messing around, I did something wrong and it saved it here automatically. I don't know how this track got there, but it's just a mix I made in GarageBand. I call it Skolnia, and I made it to basically freestyle and battle rap and shit. There's no lyrics, but I made it so anybody could just pop in and, friggin' spit some bars and fuck around with it. Of course, it's not public, but I mean, you can listen to it and shit publicly on SoundCloud and YouTube. I think it's up on YouTube. Go through all my first. Oh no, we don't want that. Thing is touchy. I kind of miss the old mouse. I'm not a big fan of this touchpad. Like, there's no buttons to click anywhere, so you're like your left and right click. There's not even a little rectangle at the bottom to give you a guide to where to do that. It's like I miss so many times. Let's see, is it? No, that's one of the songs from the album. I gotta keep an eye on that. If it's not in the other one, we'll have to go back. Yeah, it's there. Yeah, Shining Stars in there. Okay. You see there's multiple versions. It looks like multiple versions. They're just duplicates going from one computer to another, to the iPod, to the phone, to another computer so I can put it on another phone. I got so many copies and copies, and I don't know what the hell. It took me forever to like filter out a shitload, like real music. My shit I didn't bother with, obviously. There's copies still. But yeah, my entire playlist did that. I had like 3 or 4 of everything. It sucked. And most of them were all randomly labeled 4 freaking letters. It got rid of all the ID tags. Every time I swapped freaking devices, it fucked with it. And it took me so long to correct that. And there's literally shit that's wrong, labeled wrong. I think there's some death metal band labeled as a Pink Floyd tune somewhere in one of my Pink Floyd playlists. It's pretty funky. It's fucked up. You're jamming out to freaking Pink Floyd, all chill and mellow. And then all of a sudden, like, holy, what? That's not Pink Floyd. It's funny as hell. I left it. I don't know. All right, so let's stop this. I have a feeling this audio is going to be really bad, so I'm going to crank it up. Hopefully, I got the PC volume all the way up. I'm sharing system audio, so that's my volume control. Okay, well, Shining Star is a song I wrote for my little girl. My first child, my ex-wife, when we got together, she had a child and in diapers, and I stepped in, and we were together for, I don't know what, like 12 years or something. We eventually got married and then apparently divorced. But together we had 2 more kids. So we had 3 kids, and this one I wrote for my first kid. I still consider her first kid my kid, but my first actual, you know what I mean? Anyway, you know how that shit goes. But I wrote this for, this was back in around 2000. I think she was like a year old when I started trying to record. Let's see if we can hear this copy of it. Hold on. That one has some really cheesy drums from an old Casio keyboard. It was pretty sad. This one might be an identical. Yeah. Alright, hold on. There's more down here. But wait, there's more. I know I did some editing, so we might have a better sounding one. That's why I'm being picky. I see
my hand, down the stairs we go. Take it slow, don't wanna fall, don't wanna spill another digger in the hole, in the hole, in the hole, in the hole. Take it slow. Take it slow, take it slow. You are starlight in the sky for me, just for me tonight. Light my way, shine bright for me, yeah. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. I brought you into this world to see it all. See it with me. Hold my hand. Hold my hand.
Oh, that's not even the full version. Oh. Okay, this one, that's the original cut. Oh, I didn't see that. This one's a minute longer. Let's do the original cut remastered just to see if it's louder. If it is, I'm gonna skip ahead to the ending because okay, there's some story to this, dude. All I had for an acoustic guitar back then was a busted up acoustic that my grandfather gave me. He had gifted it to a cousin of mine, and my cousin smashed it apparently. So my grandfather took it back. Ooh. And he fixed it, sort of. Let me see. I'll go with this one here. I didn't know I could do that. Okay. I don't think it's anything, special or like vintage or anything. I don't know anything about that, but it means a great deal to me that one of his wishes was because he's passed, he's gone. My grandfather's gone, and everybody he wanted to make sure I got this after he was gone. I used to go visit him, and I'd pull this out of the closet, and he'd be sitting there in his big lazy boy, watching John Wayne or something, and I'd just start plucking. It doesn't stay in tune. It sounds like garbage. As I don't, he, it broke off up here at the head, and he managed to do some woodwork and got it put back together. But I don't think there's a truss rod inside it anymore. I don't think he knew about the truss rod. So the bridge was all cracked and shit. I fixed the bridge, hoping that would make it stay in tune before I figured out I didn't have a truss rod. But this is the acoustic guitar I recorded this album on. And if you listen real closely, you can hear that bass. That was this with like a detuner or something, I think. And the way I recorded it, because this is old, this is not an electric acoustic. I have had this microphone for a very long time, since back around 2000 or so, 99, 98. I shoved that inside the sound hole. That's how I mic'd this guitar for this whole album, so it does sound kind of weird. But I just want to see if this, that's a little close, there we go. I want to see if this original cut remastered version sounds any better, and if it has the ending, there's like a bass solo thing that I want you to hear. Way louder. Alright, it's a minute longer, so let's hear the end. Let's hear that bass line. You can hear my kid in the background too at that. Oh. See the world. See the world. Blue eyes. See the world through blue eyes. See the world through blue eyes. You see the world through blue eyes, just like mine. So yeah, I made that bass line with that. Well, hey, I hit pause. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I like that one. I'll never be able to play like that bass part and shit again. That was just all improvised, impromptu. I loved it all in the end. You could, if you can hear the kid in the back, kids in the background. It almost sounded like the background like bar ambiance. You know what I mean? Someone in the background. You know. So I left it in there. I said, screw it. I'm not gonna do another take. That was cool. So that one was significantly louder. I don't know if the quality would be considered any better, but it was definitely louder than the other ones. I don't know if I have any more that were remastered to that level or not. Okay. So the next song on the list here, oh, I didn't even do something like you. And that's those are the yeah 2:30. I'm gonna go with this one. I actually have this one up on my SoundCloud and I think on my YouTube as well. I might have remastered it again for the SoundCloud. I don't remember. I've tampered with these so many times trying to make them sound good because they were on a tape, and I got the manual for this mixer with a built-in tape deck, and it says like the for best recording, keep the friggin' little level bars at 0 dB. They come out so friggin' quiet on the tape. You have to friggin' crank the friggin' volumes, crank the faders, crank the master, crank the, and then plug it into something else that has some volumes. You know what I mean? And try to bring it up. It was the old days. Let's see if this one's any good. And then I got a funny one. So, you must have noticed that I say it's an acoustic album, but I did throw some electric parts in there. I just love the blend of that, folky acoustic guitar sound like the old Led Zeppelin and shit, with some crazy newer astounding distortion, nice soloing. It just I like the blend of that. It just sometimes it doesn't work and it's like, dude, that's like two totally different songs. But sometimes when they go together good, it's like, man, that is sweet. Um, so that's what I was kind of going for in that. And that song is uh, basically a tribute to people that I know, like people I went to school with. I'm gonna try to keep away from plugging names because I'm not trying to ride shirt tails. But there were people that I knew growing up that actually made it. I mean, one recently got a friggin' Grammy for crying out loud or something like that. Like, holy crap, dude, that's awesome. So, this is like a tribute to them. Me saying, yo, dude, I don't know if I've got the confidence, but man, I want to be something. I want to be something just like you are. I want to be something too, you know? And so that's what that song was about. Um, I got kind of experimental with the microphone and shit. Somebody's gonna freak out and like get all racial about shit, and all I can say is, dude, you need help. Because fun is fun. If especially it's not offensive. It's not anything trying to poke fun. It was me honestly trying to make a track that would make you think of the Native American Indians, and a lot of times I'm not making real words. I'm trying to mimic what like it sounds like at a powwow and shit. If you've ever ended up in the powwows, I love those. That's so fucking cool. But uh, you can't record stuff, so I couldn't like take samples at a powwow. They really frown on that. So I just went to a few for and absorbed the influence of it. You know what I mean? And I tried to recreate some of that. Like, people find it funny because they know it's me, and I do end up kind of verbalizing a little bit. You kind of hear some words and phrases. I don't know if I meant to, if they were actually coming out as words, but that's what they sound like now. And I did weird shit like I have my keys in my hand and my shaking them, and weird shit like the guitar plug and sticking it in my mouth, getting kinds of weird feedback and other sounds and effects. I had a vocal pedal, not the one I have now, not this. You can see it in the overhead. I have a what is this? The VE20 vocal processor from Boss. That's new for me. I used to have that old, what is it, the DOD, the Votech. Dude, I loved some of the effects on that. I got recordings of my kids doing like the chipmunk voice and doing the really low voice and shit like that, with them laughing their asses off. Um, but yeah, I experimented with different effects and screwing around with the microphone and stuff, and this is what I was. That's what I was. Like I said, it's not meant to be offensive to any indigenous, you know, cultures or anything. It's just an homage, if you will. So please don't friggin' hunt me down, okay? Let's see if the volume is okay. Yeah, so weird, right? I just noticed one of them. It says it's 8 minutes long. What is this? I don't even know if that's the right song. Watch it be some metal song mislabeled. Oh, I forgot about this one. I think this is the one with the freaking mic, the guitar line in my mouth. It's, I probably never remastered this one. It's so quiet. I can barely hear it. It's like this phasing, sweeping distortion. Hey, Kubrick. I'm, I'm, I'm embarrassing myself again. This is an old album. I'm playing back an old album I made a long time ago. Uh, yeah, sort of. Uh, just improvise. I took like a piano class back in high school and shit, but I'm not an actual piano player. I just use it to dabble and improvise. If you check some of my SoundCloud and YouTube videos, there's a lot of piano work. Recently, I started dabbling again. But yeah, this is that guitar plug in my mouth. I'm messing with effects and all the different settings on the mixer. Yeah, it's a MIDI controller. I got it so I can plug it into GarageBand and control all the touch instruments and shit. I hated trying to scroll across the piano on GarageBand on my phone to get the low notes and then scroll across a couple of times to get the high notes. I want to be able to play the whole spread at the same time, you know? So I broke down and bought this. I had an old Casio that I learned how to hook up and do that with, but it didn't have velocity sensitivity. It was just you touch the key and it was a solid hit. This one you can press softly, or you can, and it shows up in the song. You know what I mean? It's not just a solid volume level. So that was a big selling point. I had to have the velocity control, and they're semi-weighted, so it almost feels like a real piano. They're not quite as heavy as a real one. That feels more like there's a spring under them, but it's pretty decent. Yeah, I think this is all just sound effect. Oh, and then it starts the Indian. Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing. That wasn't even worth listening to. Oh, hey, we're not playing that. We just did. Okay. So we did Something Like You, Shining Star, the Indian song. The next one on the list would Be a Man. Let me. I have one that I think I remastered for the volume. It must be this one where it's labeled because I tried doing multiple vocals. Oxygen. Oxygen U. Move the octaves up and down by pressing on button. Huh, I don't even know what that is. It's probably cheaper than this piano. Probably would have saved me a lot of loot. Um, and just so I don't look like I'm weird, I am talking to somebody in the chat. So yeah, if you're here and you want to, chit chat with me along the way, hit me up. Just make a comment. I Nobody in the chat was here, but I've seen the little eyeball above the screen go like 1 2 0 1 0 1 2 0. So so people are checking in and going, yeah, screw him. I don't mind, dude. Not many people probably are interested in my old acoustic album, which is what I'm playing today. I'm just looking for the ones I tried to remaster so you can hear them. Because, like I said earlier, the manual for my mixer said record everything at 0 dB, which to me didn't make sense. Like, isn't 0 like nothing? But I did it anyway, and then it was so friggin' quiet. I've been catching hell trying to enhance them so I can even listen to them again. And I think I attempted to remaster them like I don't know, maybe 2010, 2011 ish, so another 10 years ago. Because I recorded this around 2000, I want to say, somewhere around there. About the time my little girl was about a year old and my son was being born. Yeah, I never knew who any of them are unless they commented on the chats, and even then, most of the time, they're new names, so I don't even know who they are. You know, I don't mind. I appreciate people checking me out. So okay, this one the Be a Man is. I was messing with the vocals. I was trying to record multiple vocal tracks on the 4-track tape deck. So this is really early stuff. So don't judge my vocal too poorly. I know it's bad. If we can even hear it. Ooh, I think this is remastered. That's loud. Fingers crossed. So yeah, that one was almost audible. The mix kind of sucks, and back then I was trying to do this like false scream, like or a quiet scream, because I didn't want anybody to hear me. Like, no one walks alone, real quiet and be a man. Freaking. I think that might be one I want to redo because I think with the setup I have now, I might be able to pull that off a little bit better. I don't know. I think that's on my that's one of the top ones on my possible remake. list. So, and if you've heard one that you'd like to see me remake, man, you know what I mean, throw it out there and I'll consider it. Yeah, no, you know, do what you gotta do, man. It's all good. I'll be here for a while, I think. So, no worries. And thank you. What does it do if I push the star? What did that do? Huh. I don't know. I don't know what the star means. Oh no, I don't want to put them in timeout. Okay, I'll quit pushing buttons. I don't know if I may undo that in case that screws something up. Um, so that was Be a Man, and again, that one was. I don't think there was any electric on that one. That was all acoustic, and it was all on this one. Back then, this was the only guitar I had. Acoustic, the only acoustic guitar I had. I had this and my old Psycho Strat, and that was it. And that was that. um, Imagine that. Now I'm talking like a cat with a hat. Make it stop. Somebody give me a slap. Okay. I'm not all there. I don't claim to be. See this BTVS? I mentioned it earlier. Apple randomly relabels shit with 4 fucking letters. There's no rhyme or reason. They don't go in groups by album or artist. Everything's just fucking randomly dumped on a hard drive with 4 random letters. So when you swap from a computer to something else and try to move, it fucks everything up. So that one was 517. So that's probably another version of Shining Star, because that was 517. I noticed up here Shining Star somewhere was spelled Shinig. Yeah, Shinig. I'm missing an N up there. So we did Something Like You. We did the Indian. Time to Change. I think that one. I think the vocals were improvised. I'll have to hear it to remember for sure. But I'm gonna skip that one for now. Valley of the Dust, acoustic with vocal. This one was like a pretty lengthy poem I wrote back in high school, and one day somehow fit it to a few guitar chords. So I don't think I remastered. Well, it's labeled differently and it's got a different time, so I must have done something. I don't know which one would. I think this one's going to be the newer version. So let's hear the poem, Valley of the Dust. Hopefully. That's real quiet.
Just to see you coming round the one, to see you leave behind the blankets of sun, to see you walk by my world, leave behind the sun, to see you walk by my world. Walk the highways of millions of worlds, and away. silent, broken soul. Don't hesitate as you pay your toll. Our money is counted in stones, so deep we go, we come home. We come home. Open a door, any door of your choice. You'll find me somewhere, somewhere inside. I'm the one in your mind, I'm your voice. You'll find you are unable to hide. So deeper you go, the dragons and swords, the castles and snakes, fighting demons and hordes. Deeper you go, deeper you go. This is a place where I will be found, living in dreams, 'cause I'm so far inside. See the reaper chase my spirit hound, the wolf in which love really resides. The real me. Don't you say I can't stay? Nothing can save you now. No one can save you now. From you. Stay with me forever, please. Where the wizards all float on past, carrying out their sinister task. I bet your soul can never leave. Just waiting in fear and dread, haunting you in your head. What's now hiding in the twilight? Now I'm playing with your eyesight. Sway over your bed.
So that one was called Valley of Dust, and that was a rather lengthy, as you can tell, poem that I wrote. There was a couple spots where I messed up and kind of ad-libbed and got back into it, but that was for the most part the entire poem. um, all right, the time for change. Uh, I think this is one of the ones where I just tried improvising right off the cuff, friggin' guitar part and vocals, trying to sing and play at the same time, if I remember right. I might be wrong. This might be the wrong tune. I might been on a different album. So this one's called "Time to Change."
Time changed the way we were. Time change.
Yeah, the audio on that one was pretty bad. There's a lot of low end on that. I think I could EQ out and clear up a lot of that guitar and vocal. Yeah, there was a lot of muddying going on that one. Like I said, I recorded these back in 2000, and all I had was this broken acoustic with no truss rod in the freaking neck, so it doesn't stay in tune at all. And I threw this microphone inside the damn thing to mic it. That was like 20 something years ago. No, that's why I'm here, dude. I know it's terrible. I don't care. I just like that I have it, on record that I actually tried doing this stuff so long ago, And it is cool for me to look back and think, man, like you were saying, man, I should have done this and I should have done that. I know. Believe me, I know. I've been criticizing this crap for like 20 years, wishing that I had done better. Wish I had known how to do better back then. That's why I'm doing this show right now, because like I'm trying to decide, instead of trying to remaster them and fix the sound, I'm thinking I'm going to try to re-record them. So, yeah, that's the, excuse me. Uh, that's what I'm just kind of, you know, mulling it over now. I did an attempt. Let's see if that's on here. Oh, I don't think it. Oh, you know where it is though, and I don't know if I can do this. Let me figure this out. Okay, I've got that going, and then where is this song? I found. Okay. Um, oh, I have it in. Be easier to find if I went to my playlist, wouldn't it? Uh, I'm looking for the slightly revisited. Slightly. That's the revived version. Original remaster. You're not seeing this. Let me. I can't remember what layout I'm on. Hold up. This is gonna look funny. Ah! Okay, yeah, we're on the right layout anyway. So let me go back to the. I didn't swap it to share tab. I guess I can make it share the tab and still be able to see my tools or whatever, but I don't know how to do that quite yet. So I'll just drag it over here so you can see. Oh, I don't know. Is it in here now? I'm getting kind of discouraged. This is way. Oh, there it is. So, I'm Kubrick. If you're still here, I can't see that screen now. If you were here for the song "Something Like You," this was I can't remember how many years ago that I recorded this one, but it was my attempt to re-record rather than remaster. And again, I didn't have the setup I have now. That was one upgrade I did, and now this is a whole new. Rather than upgrade, I just revamped the whole studio. So we have a whole new setup, and I'm thinking about redoing this one again. But this is just me trying to remember how to play that song and figuring out a couple of riffs and trying to record to see how they would sound and adding some lead again to see how it would sound. So this was kind of an experiment basically for what I want to do now. This is basically a test I did a few years back. Let's hear it. levels were off. I know. I know. See, it's not even a full song, it's just a snippet, little sampling of the riffs that I remembered how to play. I didn't do any vocal, I didn't sing. So let's go back so I can see what I'm doing. And so I can see comments, you know. Where are they? Oh, you like the whiskey bottle song? You like my Danielstown? That being the whiskey bottle. Oh, wait. I did something wrong. I want this button. There we go. So somebody else is here. Spoke soon. Yes, I'm reading the comments. I'm catching up. It was off screen. Hold on. Yeah, that's like what I was saying earlier, man. For years, I've been experimenting with the acoustic electric blend. I like the way sometimes they sound together. It's kind of classy. You know what I mean? It's got a whole different vibe, and I've been working on it. Yeah, that could be the intro, or I could just start over and I don't know. Because now I have options. You know, I have so many options now. I've got more acoustic guitars than I had before. I could do like I don't know what 3 or 4 different guitar tracks, or you know what I mean, different guitar parts. Hey, Mr. Glidden, how are you, Mr. Glidden? So formal. What's up, Ryan? Came in kind of late. I'm done. Basically, I played through my old Acoustitales album, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do like a remake in my new studio. And yes, it is Mr. Kubrick 1972. Someone finally noticed. Yes, it's from the Nebuchadnezzar, the ship, right? The control center when they pop people into the Matrix and start uploading like the fight program and all that shit, the jump program. This is the terminal from the movie. Oh no, infusion. What's that? There we go. That's what I like to see. Sugar mamas. Smart boy. Kubrick, yeah, it's one of my top. You know, I do love the Matrix. The whole idea of it is just it's too close to reality to me, dude. And I like the kind of like wordplay. You know, I consider the internet here the Matrix. And you'll see I do a lot of eyeball stuff in my videos and things like that. That's like because everybody's watching. You know what I mean? The cameras are always rolling. So yeah, I'm kind of into the Matrix thing. I like themes. Uh, I got your typo, Ryan. It's all good. I understood. Yeah, I watched a video of him play a solo part to some. I don't know the artist or the song or anything like that, but that was pretty decent. He ought to do a recording in a DAW and make a studio recording of it. You know, make a nice good mix instead of just having the video as the recording. So, gotta talk to him about that. Get him into that. There's all kinds of different for DAWs and stuff. You can do it on your phone with GarageBand and stuff. You can get them like the Fruity Loops, and I use Magics, and there's just so many. I don't even know them. So there's a whole array of different DAWs or digital audio workstation. Right? Did I do it right? DAW. Anyway, because yeah, he actually has some friggin' chops, dude. I think it'd be cool to record his stuff now, in these early years, like I'm showing tonight. You know, this is stuff I recorded over 20 years ago. So when my kids were still in diapers, I think my son might not even have been born when I made this album. This might have been right before he was born. Uh, Between my daughter being born and my son being born, this album happened. So, which is a miracle because you know the financial burden of having multiple children. Somehow I still scrounged out some gear here and there and started building my studio. Yeah, I will. I'll. I've been meaning to ask him about on that video, but I didn't want to like diminish the video and say, "Hey, you ought to do this way." You know what I mean? But you know, I've been curious about talking to him about what he's thinking about doing for recording and stuff. So yeah, I'll I'm looking out. I do what I can. I try to help out. I mean, I'm not a pro or a master at any of this. I'm learning this as I go. And if you've been following along my streams like the past year, trying to get this running have been a nightmare. I've done like hour and a half, 2.5 hour streams with no audio running and didn't know it the whole fucking time. So, you know, we're all learning. As Mr. Pete John says, we're all just a work in progress, right? Yes, Kubrick, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, and on Twitch. Uh, I, I mentioned before that the StreamYard app or their website is free, but they do have the pay for packages as well, which I just recently upgraded to, and that's one of the features. You can stream to more than one location at the same time. And that's the main reason I did it. Plus, there's all these other features that it says, "Oh, upgrade to do this." But I just wanted to try it to see what it does. And for the longest time, I wouldn't pay for it. But now that I've really wanted to do the multiple locations, I broke down and said, "Screw it." And the thing I hate about stuff like that, it's a year-long subscription, but they require the full year. They say, "Oh, it's only this much a month." Yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. But what they don't say until you're ready to make the damn purchase is you pay for the full year all at once. It works out to be this much a month, but they want it all first, right up front, the whole yearly payment, which is like, damn, thank God I have credit cards, dude, because you know, the payment's not going to be what they said, but at least I can still do payments and get it running right away. So That's how I got this going. And I don't monetize. I don't release like to all the big sites like Pandora and Spotify and shit. I don't get paid for anything that I do out here. So this is just for me for fun. Um, Credit cards are crazy unless you know how to work numbers and work the system and trust in yourself. You know what I mean? You really got to be able to stick to a plan and make it work. I've got way too many of the damn things right now, but luckily they're not all maxed. I mean, I did it smart, and I slowly built my credit by buying all this freaking gear a little bit at a time with a credit card and pay it off and buy another item and pay it off and buy another. My credit score started going like this. So it kind of works out. I put myself in a little bit of debt, but I raised my score. I wish I could get that down to just one. But if you don't use them, then that affects your score too. You know what I mean? There's like a balance you gotta play, and so, and then if you get a too high of a balance, look for the ones that do the 0% transfer. I finally figured out how to do that, and figured what a lifesaver that was to have like 18 months interest free, so my payments actually made an impact on the friggin' balance. You know what I mean? And once you get close to that deadline, find another one that has the 0% intro friggin' transfer thing and do it again until it's paid off. Get away from those interest fees. That's the biggest thing with a credit card is that friggin' interest. Always pay more than the minimum and pay more than once a month. And you will end up not paying the interest. You end up paying shit off quicker, and your score starts going through the roof. It's a crazy game, but kind of like taxes. I had that shit down to a T until friggin' Butt Munch stole the election and started changing everything. Like, oh my god. I had to make extra payment arrangements this year to pay my friggin' tax screw up last year because they made changes and it affected my shit, and nobody told me for over 8 months I went without paying taxes. Like, what the fuck? So now I'm paying last year's taxes as well as paying I fixed it and paying taxes on my paychecks now, but I also have an extra fucking monthly payment going to them now too to pay for the blunder. So they changed that game. I gotta relearn that fucking game. But I got the credit cards down right now. As long as I keep myself in check and don't go friggin' purchase crazy. Like, I so want a Taylor guitar, dude. Oh my god. But they're like 2-3 grand. Dude, I don't want to do that shit. I'm still paying off my car and shit. Yeah, I usually pay a bit of a payment on all my cards like every week. That way, by the end of the month, I've more than paid the monthly minimum, and my balance goes down quicker, and the amount they can charge interest on goes down before they charge the interest on it, that's the key to the game. You pay it ahead, and before their cycle. You know what I mean? Then they still hit you with fucking fees and shit. It's a racket, but if you use them right, dude, they can work to your advantage. I know. I remember an interview I watched with Joe Satriani way back in the beginning of his career, and he said, they said, like, how did you do that? And he said, well, I got my first credit card. I went to the studio and said, "Here," and that's how he made his first album or something. So it all depends on how you use them. They can screw you or they can make you. It's all money management. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I've got like 9 or something. So But like, I only have like a couple hundred on this one, a couple hundred on that one. I just buy something small on each of them so I at least have them active, and that affects my credit. I don't go and max this one out and then get a new one and max that one out. I don't do that shit. I learned the hard way about that. Um, so, I don't know. I don't even know if this guitar will play, this old acoustic. Like I said, I don't think there's a truss rod in it. And now that I have a boom, I can actually mic a guitar the normal way. It's probably nowhere near tuned. And if it was, it wouldn't stay there. That's actually kind of... That's close. Wrong way. Close enough. Wrong way. That's the thing with playing guitars with all the keys on one side of the neck and then switching to one that has keys on the both sides. I always end up turning the key the wrong friggin' way. But I guarantee now that I tune this, if I go back and check it, it's not in tune anymore. So that's about as good as it gets with this old guitar. The head was broken right off, man. My grandfather put it back on and... Mic's too close, I'm getting a little too much. If you were here for the beginning, you would know what that song was. Yeah, I switched it to nylon strings because there's no truss rod to kind of help it out. I think when I made the album, I still had steel or the copper looking acoustic guitar strings on it. Real simple. I think it's only 3 chords. The D. And you lift up on one string. You're still playing the D, but it's like a D. What is it? It's one. I can't remember how to. I used to know how to figure out like the D suspended fifth, blah blah blah. It was depending on what note you're adding or subtracting from the chord, and I can't remember how to do it now. So I don't know what that one's called. Right now I'm not even using a pick. I'm just pretending I'm holding one and pretending like I'm air picking it, dude. like that. That's a nice new addition to that song. That little slide from Wish You Were Here. I probably play it wrong, but it's as far as I got by ear, trying to figure out how to play Pink Floyd by ear. That's one thing I never did. I never did buy a Pink Floyd book. I've got all kinds of, tab books, but I don't think I have any Pink Floyd. I have to rectify that. That whiskey song, I wonder how that'll sound on this. Do you play with, it's called That One. I like that too. You can play it. I don't know how to play it. It's called That One. I think I missed something in the conversation or the timing of the conversation because now I don't recall what it's called. That one is in reference to, and so people don't know I'm crazy. We got this, and then it goes to this, and then this. So I think I missed something in the conversation while I was playing. But yeah, that little addition to the place. Yeah, it was on the C and the G, right? Oh yeah, that one. Now I get it. That's why I can't. I'm trying to jump back to the D after. Okay, but it just doesn't quite stay in tune. Those are supposed to be the same note. See how bad sour it's starting to sound? So it's kind of weird that I'm playing this. I don't really ever play it anymore. I just kind of keep it because it used to be my gramps. Get the freaking green screen thing to stop freaking out. I don't think it likes the color of the guitar. Look at it throw me all the way off the picture. I need a real green screen behind me. But remember that Eagles song? And somewhere like in the middle of the solo, he does this. He like spreads his fingers out, blah, 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 and then back up. That's where I kind of learned that trick. I've seen them do it on the video, some Eagles song. Uh, well, I'm sure they are, but just a flamenco strum style, they can't copyright that, dude. That's long before their time, dude. That's classical. Which I can't play. So, yeah, the whole album was recorded with this broken old guitar with no truss rod in the neck, and I don't know if you can tell on the camera this difference in the stain right here where it was broken. If you can see, you know what? I have better cameras. Ta-da! Of course, with the lighting, you can't. You can kind of. Oh, there you go. You see the color difference right there at the top of the head, right below those two keys. Yeah. See this all the way down. Oh, there, I just got a splinter. It's sticking out. It's kind of frayed out. This thing was all broken. Totally snapped off. I've seen so many guitars that have been broken like that and end up in the graveyard, you know. And my grandfather actually revived this one enough to make it at least worth keeping to hang on a wall. You know what I mean? So that's why I keep it. It's just to have, because it's got a lot of memories attached to it. Memories of me visiting him and just sitting next to him while he was in his chair, like, and just me plucking away. He'd be watching his John Wayne movies and shit, but if I looked down at his feet while I was playing, he was while I was playing. See, he was watching his movie, but he was listening. You know what I mean? He was listening to me play, and that's all. Every time I went to visit him, I said, "Okay, can I play a guitar? Can I play your guitar?" He's like, "Yeah, go ahead and grab it." And so that's how I ended up with it, because I actually played it. Hey, whatever works. Like I said, when I had that and recorded this album that we played today, that's the only acoustic I ever had. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, and this one, so 4 altogether now. I've got my 12 string. I got a Dean 12 string. I've got a Luna 6 string electric acoustic. The 12 string is also. No, it's not. The 12 string is a traditional. The Luna, which is actually made by Dean, it's just a, I don't know, like a paper corporation under Dean, so they can put a different name on it. But Luna is Dean. So in case nobody knew that Luna guitars are made by Dean Guitars. So I had 2 Lunas at one point. I gave one to one of my kids. The plan was to give them both one, and actually neither one of them actually got into guitar playing. I ended up giving the one to her daughter. You know what I mean? The oldest. So neither one of my kids actually got into playing. That kind of sucks. But yeah, one had the faux phoenix on the front, and the other one had a faux dragon. And seeing as how my son was born the year of the dragon, I figured someday I'd probably give it to him or leave it to him, like my grandfather left this to me. I'll probably leave that one to my boy. I don't know. Um, and I've got a Fender acoustic that was just, dude, somebody I used to work with was gonna pawn it off. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I need gas money. You wanna buy it for $50? Yeah, dude. As long as it's not a piece of shit, yeah, I guess so. Like, it was kind of dirty and grimy when I got it, but I cleaned it up and it's actually not that bad. So, if they had like dogs or several dogs or something, and it just, those homes when you walk in and the big wall of friggin' dog smell. You know what I mean? It's like everything in the house, and they don't notice it. They live in it. They're nose blind to it. But when you walk into a place like that, it's like, oh damn, and it just, the dander and all that. It was the guitar was covered. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll take it. Allergies be damned. I'll clean it up if I can, and so I did. So maybe it is time to try to remake the acoustic album. I have real acoustic guitars now. I think that's it. I think that's the deciding, and maybe I'll throw in the. I love dogs too. I'm a total animal lover, so I mean, I don't really typically have allergies, but if I'm around a really potent scene, yeah, my eyes start to burn and my throat gets all fucked up for like a day or two. Um, but yeah, now that I have real guitars, I think I'm gonna try to do a remake of Acoustitales, and I think we're gonna add the whiskey tune that everyone seems to be digging right now. I showed that on another stream. That's something I've never even recorded. That's just something personal, and I've never really made an act like I had an album of acoustic shit. It wasn't good, but I recorded it. You know what I mean? I don't have any of that of the Danielstown. So maybe that's. I think that cinches it. I think I'm gonna start working the next couple of weeks here. I think either live or on my own in the studio, and then show you what I come up with. I haven't decided yet, but I think the next couple of weeks I'm gonna zero in on this acoustic idea, and I'm gonna try to finish writing or making Danielstown into a full song and add it to the album. Cause yeah, I think with all this new gear, the quality of my sound is greatly improved. Not to mention the quality of what I know how to do now. So not just what I learned on my own, but just within the past few months hanging out with Pete John, Thomas Christ, and Jade Star. There's so many people out there that are willing to say, hey, this is how I did this. This is how I did this. This is how I did. It's like, wow, I've been trying to do that for a long time. That was easy. Okay, cool. Thank you. You know what I mean? So, and that's when I really started rebuilding this thing. I bought a new computer. I built it hoping to get my studio made, and then when I had all said and done, all the beefy crap I put into it, and there's no like auxiliary input. So I couldn't do my analog friggin' plug my mixer, everything mixed into a set of RCAs, do a adapter, the little headphone adapter, and plug it in to the auxiliary or microphone line. I don't have that port on my new computer. One thing I left out. So I ended up having to learn a little bit about the interface bullshit. I mean, there's a lot of people doing what is it? I can't remember the name of that, like PreSonus or something like that. There's a lot of streamers, they're they're really pushing this rig, and I mean, I think it's more of an affordability and versatility thing. Cost versus, um, but I don't usually shop that way. I tend to look for the things that cost more because on certain items, when things cost more, usually it does more, it has more features, or it's a better quality. Sometimes when things cost more, it's just a brand, you know what I mean? And you can tell. But other things, it's like, yeah, I could get that, but if I got this, I think it would sound better. So, like, I got the Tascam instead of the one everyone's been recommending. I got the Tascam because my mixer that I've had forever is a Tascam, and I thought maybe they would integrate together better, or have some kind of interconnectability that I was, it doesn't, as not the way I was thinking, but it's still, it is, in my opinion, like a top quality piece. So I don't regret it because now I can plug anything into my laptop. I can get sound on my laptop now. Now that I figured out how to friggin' use it. Oh my god. New tech. It's a pain in the butt. What time is it? Okay. Yeah. Well, I appreciate everybody that's been hanging out with me, especially people that are willing to comment and have conversations with me. I know there's a couple people watching, and I'm only hearing from one or two actually. Ryan, I haven't forgotten you. Just you're not on the screen right now, so you haven't been there for a while. You probably not even here anymore. Yeah, way up there. Okay. So yeah, again, I appreciate everyone who stops in to check me out. I must be interesting to somebody. But yeah, I'm just doing things, trying to decide. Like I have this idea for the Sevinity album. Excuse me, and that's supposed to be more metally, like Tools of the Divine, in the hands of the wicked, and so that's supposed to be the Sevinity sound. But I do want to do a full acoustic album, and I think it's time. I mean, yep. I think I'm gonna do it. At least two or three of those old songs and the new song. And I don't know, maybe I'll even jump on the Distro Kid bandwagon for the first time and actually like release it. I don't know. It depends on how good it comes out. Because like I've never monetized, so I don't do any of that. Sayonara. um, yeah. So thanks for hanging with me, guys. I know I'm screwy with all the different camera views. I'm just having a good time. Like I said, I'm not really here to make money. I'm here to make music and memories. So if you enjoyed it, the old music, hopefully I can do a better job and remake them, and you guys can jam out to some decent acoustic tunes instead of these cheesy ones. So until then, peace out, and don't forget, hit the record button. See, you thought I was gonna say hit the subscribe button, didn't you? But no, I'm not. I'm more concerned that you do stuff that helps you and makes you happy. So, damn it, remember to hit that record button. Peace, everybody. Have a good night. Have a safe work week. Record some music, damn it. Good night.